What's up? This is Marco back on the Sage Soccer channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the USA men's national team. They're friendly against Wolves and my overall thoughts on how the team is looking right now. And I gotta say, there's a lot of positives to take away from this game. I mean, man, 0-0 draw, not the best, but we didn't have a striker for this game and no Pulisic either, so our attack wasn't that good, but the things that were really looking good for this team was the midfield. I mean, we were dominating possession against a good European team. This is a team that qualified for the Euro. And I mean, no Ramsey, no Ampadu, I don't think. A lot of players are missing, but still, this is a great result by our team. I think the best part of the team was the midfield for me. I think Adams was really killing it. He was winning the ball back at a great rate. He was keeping the ball in possession pretty well. I think that the pitch might have been a little bit affecting things with the really bad wind there as well. You can see that a couple of touches really getting out of hand for the team, but I think that he was doing really well in the midfield, winning the ball back. McKennie was looking great as well. I honestly would have liked to see him keep the captain's armband, but you can't be mad at Steffen having it. Musah, he had a great debut. If we can keep that midfield, maybe you'd have Aronson come in for Musah when he really gets going, but if we can keep just that midfield, I would be happy for we can keep that for the next 10 years, we'd be fine, for real. Just a great job by all three of those guys. I'm really hoping that we can captain Musah come June, but I'm really liking those three. I think our fullbacks were looking very good as well. Dest, he was looking really nice going forward. Probably our most threatening player. He had a lot of good crosses in, one that a striker would have scored. I'm not going to say that Lletget didn't have a bad game, I don't think. He was put in a weird position. He made the most out of what he could with his talent level and just not being a striker. But I think Dest was looking really good. Robinson, he was giving the ball away a good amount. That's something that I've talked about with him having at Fulham. But overall, I think that was a good game by him. He had a really nice defensive recovery on Matundo, and he is really fast. So he brings just a lot of athleticism, good going forward. Somebody who I want into the team. I really like Robinson. Steffen was making some good saves. He's playing the ball out pretty well. He had that one bad giveaway on that pass to Adams, but nothing bad came of that. I think that's just a one-time thing. Brooks and Miazga were doing very well in the center back. I think Brooks was doing really well with his passing going forward. He had a lot of nice long balls. Reminded me of a Connor Cody, just putting those balls in. Good performance by him. He was dealing with Kiffer Moore really well, and that's not an easy task to deal with a 6'5", pretty strong center back. And this is a Wales team that, even with their not being at full strength, you had to deal with a couple of great athletes in that team with Matundo and Daniel James, and this team was dealing with them well. Miazga, I thought, was a little bit worse. He definitely wasn't as confident as Brooks. Maybe Chris Richards would come in for the next game. I'd really like to see him. But I did like our defense a lot. Then on to up front, where we had Giovanni Reyna make his much-awaited debut. Just pretty good performance by him. A little bit took him a while to get into the game, I think. But once he did, he was one of our more dangerous players. Great on the ball. He had a couple of really nice crosses in. He was taking on players well. I think I'd like to see him take on players a little bit more. It seemed like he was really waiting for Dest to make that overlap. I think that he had the ability to really take on, I think it was Gunter who was guarding him a lot. I think it's just a bit more confidence. Maybe that's just him being told not to, because Berhalter, I'll get to him. But I really like the performance out of Reyna. Konrad on his debut, I mean, it wasn't the best by him. I think it's his first team football at all. I mean, he hasn't made his debut for Barcelona yet. First time in the national team, so you can't judge him too much for it. Really should have scored that one goal that they got off the press, but I don't think you could be too mad at Konrad for this performance. And you saw a good amount of positives. Had some good athleticism. He's trying to get in behind the defense. We know what he can do, but just not the greatest performance by him. And I mentioned that Lletget, I thought he was fine. Probably shouldn't have been put in that position, especially, I thought that Giancini was hurt or something, but I don't think he should have been put. Lletget shouldn't have been put in the 9 position. That was just a mistake by Berhalter, in my opinion. So, just going through the subs, I think Lanez was the only guy who really had an impact. It was a long time before the subs came on, but he had that really nice shot. He was looking a little bit dangerous. Johnny was playing decently well in the midfield. I don't think he's going to take Tyler out of his spot or anything, but good performance by him, given it was his debut and not too much time. Good to see the debuts for Giancini, as I mentioned, Owen Atawasawi from Wolves. Nice to see him play. Good to see Tim Weah back after all those injuries that he was going through. Hopefully he can get some more playing time against Panama. And Reggie Cannon, he had a pretty good job when he came on. I mentioned hopefully Chris Richards will play against Panama as well. And that's about it for the team. I don't think any players. I think I liked the performance out of every player today, especially given the context of the performance. And when Pulisic gets back or Sargent gets back, maybe we throw Altidore up there. I'm not too sure. But this team is looking really good. And I'm really excited to see them in the Nations League and the Gold Cup and just in the World Cup. This is a team that, this is the most I've been excited to watch a USA national team game in a long, long time. But great job by them. Tactically, it's kind of mixed because I did like how we were playing, but a couple of things didn't make too much sense. So I did like how we're really dominating possession. That was really good to see. It's something that I haven't seen of the USA team in a really long time, just being able to dominate possession against a really good team. It does come down to the talent we have of McKennie, Musah, Dest, Adams. Just them being able to keep the ball, that's great to see. Then I did really like the press that we were implementing. I thought it was really good. We got our best chance of the game from it, and that's something that I like to see out of this team. Then the question marks I have tactically is, as I mentioned, starting Lletget at the 9. I mean, I don't know what that was about. He clearly wasn't suited for the position. I said before, I think he did the best he could with his talent level and just not knowing the position, but not too sure about that. I was really not sure about not making subs because we did really start to fade as the second half really got going. Wales got to get a lot more on the ball. But, yeah, I would have liked to see some subs a bit earlier. I'm not too sure why he waited too long, especially in a friendly, and especially when we have players who have had a couple of injuries. That didn't really make too much sense to me. Probably would have liked to see Johnny come on a little bit earlier. Probably Giancini start. It takes me I'm going to have to get used to that name, but I would have liked to see Giancini start. But overall, I don't think you can be too mad at this game. Obviously, I don't think Berhalter's the guy going forward. I'm not too big of a fan of him. I think the general consensus among USA fans and me is that Jesse Marsch is the guy who I really want to see probably take over the next World Cup cycle. That would be best case scenario for this team right now. But overall, I did like this performance. Great to see everybody out there, and awesome to see the U.S. men's national team back. Yeah, that's all I've got for this. This is Marco, the Sage Soccer Channel. I'll see you.